Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier, Mike's Instant Movie Reviews. Just saw a re-release of The Lion King, not the 2020s animated or CGI or whatever the hell. This was the original OG, I believe 1991 perhaps, 92, animated. Some pretty nice voices. I'm going to have to look at the information. Some of the voices I wasn't sure. Was that Billy Crystal as like the little friend? And who was the pig, the water pig? I didn't recognize Jonathan Taylor Thomas as young Simba. Obviously, I recognized James Earl Jones as Mustafa. Did not recognize Matthew Broderick as adult Simba. Initially, eventually I did. Interesting choice. The girlfriend, Lion, who was that? I can't recall. I didn't recall the voice. Jeremy Irons as Scar, did not recognize him. So a lot of this enjoyment of this film was I really just forgot a good portion of the movie. Remember the songs. The songs stick in your head like glue. Can you feel, etc. But yeah, this was enjoyable. I was shocked and amazed, folks. This was a 9 p.m. screening on a Friday night. I figured the theater would have a big crowd. There was absolutely no one in attendance but myself. A bit disappointed. I don't know what to say. I mean, there's other movies that are playing, but I just thought people would give a shit. But apparently you don't. Anyway, I enjoyed the film. It's interesting how, Disney or just people in general, we try to make the jungle, folk, the creatures of the jungle fit in with our humanities. Early on, you see this, like we try to personify these animals. Obviously, we have them speaking English. Okay, I know that. But even when little Mustafa's a little baby cub, and somebody's standing above him, one of the other creatures, and he's got like a stick, and he's like playing with the ball. It's like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think people do that with kittens, or like, in the jungle, they don't say, oh, here's a baby cub, let's stick a ball in his face. I mean, that's a human thing. I know these are obvious. What else? There's a little joke where, Mustafa is kind of kibitzing about his brother Scar, and he and his pelican friend or whatever are having a little talking shop, and the pelican says something to the effect of, oh, you could turn him into a nice throw rug, which is like, okay, you're going to turn your brother into a throw rug? I mean, that's what humans do to these animals. They gut them and kill them and use their flesh and their fur as a rug. But animals don't do that to each other. I mean, that's putting the human depravity upon the animal kingdom, okay? What else? I thought it was interesting that, it's kind of reminds me of this Wicked, which I've never sat there and watched the stage play of Wicked. I've never felt the need to go to Broadway on a fucking bus trip to go see Wicked on Broadway like some idiot asshole or whatever the fuck. But I do know that there's a feature film coming out of Wicked, and I do know that it'll be a big deal and everyone will have to go and talk about it and all that horse shit. But, as Wicked, I do know at least that it's from the point of view of the Wicked Witch, one or both of them. And, oh my God, the witch is the victim, or the witch is the good one, and Dorothy's this, Indiana whore who comes into town killing the witches and the wickeds and all this other stuff. Why has there been a rendition of this Lion King story from the perspective of Scar? Why not? I mean, where did he get the scar in the first place? Perhaps that was from Mustafa when they were children. I'd like to see a little Scar story. And, if you've been paying attention, I did a wonderful review on Spare, the Prince Harry audiobook, and kind of the same thing. Scar is like, hey, why shouldn't I be the goddamn king? You know what I mean? Just this birthright bullshit that says, like, oh, the older brother is king, and if he departs, it doesn't go to the younger brother, it goes to the son of the oldest brother. Well, go fuck yourself. Mustafa, and fuck your kid. I mean, that's how I would feel if I were Scar. So I think there's like a nice story there for Scar to give his rendition of things. And you could have Prince Harry voice Scar. No, fuck that. I'll voice Scar. I'm the real actor around here, not these goddamn asshole nepotism fucks. Anyway, I thought it was good. I mean, it was a nice stroll down memory lane. I remember seeing this movie for the first time years ago and seeing it now and all the memories. It's a big Hollywood production. You know what I mean? I was trying to, like, the voices. I recall that Whoopi had done one of the hyenas. Were the other hyenas, it was either Pablo Rodriguez, who has fallen from fashion. This gentleman used to be a big deal back in prior decades, a.k.a. Pablo, was like this, comedian gentleman. He was kind of in the comedians clique of like your Billy Crystals, like the big three were like Billy Crystal, Robin Williams, and Whoopi Goldberg. And then you kind of had like a second tier of maybe Paul Reiser and Pablo Rodriguez and Bobcat Goldthwait, and maybe like the bad uncle was Sam Kinison, and kind of doing his own thing was Jerry Seinfeld. Like Jerry Seinfeld was kind of like Tom Cruise to the Brat Pack. Like Jerry Seinfeld to the comedy clique was like Tom Cruise to the fucking Breakfast Club or the fucking Brat Pack or whatever the fuck. So I don't know. I just felt like it would have been nice to have. I just couldn't remember all the voices. I knew that it was Whoopi. It was either Cheech Marin from Cheech and Chong. Poor Tommy Chong. He really got the short end of that breakup, didn't he? Like, Tommy Chong was the Marty Jannetty of Cheech and Chong. Like, he got thrown through the barbershop window, so to speak. But he did have a pretty hot daughter, Ray Dong Chong or whatever the fuck. But, I don't know if Cheech Marin had a hot daughter. Did you, Cheech? Anyway, but yeah, the fucking Lion King and all these things and imperialism, and I mean, in some ways, Scar is a unifier. I mean, he's trying to unify the hyenas and the lions, which is such a progressive political stance there, Scar, but it backfires. So you're trying to see like what type of socioeconomic whatever the fucks metaphors. We do have a little cross-dressing from the friend character, like we need a distraction. Well, I'll cross-dress and put a hula hoop towards the end. Nice battle scene at the end. That stampede that kills Mustafa, I don't know. It seemed a little long, didn't it? I mean, it seemed like how many goddamn hyenas or whatever the fucks that were stampeding, mongooses or wildebeest. Like, that's a lot of fucking wildebeest stampeding. You know what I mean? I don't know. But hey, it's a jungle story. I'd like to see the Jungle Book, now. Like, now I've got it's kind of interesting that like a whole, like, generations and generations of Americans and other people that want to be Americans, they grew up with like thinking that this is how the jungle operates. You know what I mean? Like the fucking animals are out there singing to each other and horse shit. It'd be funny if like some asshole kid like grew up. He's like, he wants to go on a jungle safari and he goes out in the jungle and he's like, why aren't they singing to each other? Like, But it is funny when like little Mustafa says early on, like, don't we eat the antelope? And Mustafa's like, yeah, but we fucking die and we go to grass and then they eat us. So anyway, I mean, it's enjoyable. Yes, it's a cartoon. It's not a goddamn National Geographic documentary. By the way, prior to this film, I'm about 15 minutes from the end of this really interesting documentary, sounding like a fucking asshole, called Mission, which is on, I believe it's on Hulu, about some kid who went to do missionary work in the deepest, darkest jungles of wherever the fuck, this Sarajevo or whatever the fuck. Interesting stuff. So anyway, go see it. If you have never seen The Lion King, or if you have children, that you have to fucking feed them entertainment all summer, You might as well take them to see The Lion King. We're at like kind of, I don't know, are we past the halfway mark of summer? I'm kind of getting sick of summer, to be honest with you. Here in sunny Florida, summer is actually my least favorite time. It seems like an especially hot summer, hot and humid. Like today was like 92. Every day for like a month, except 2 days ago, has been in the 90s, and it's humid, and my activity level is lower, and all this horse shit. So summer, I mean, global fucking warming, you know what I mean? But looking forward to summer being over so we can get to the nice cold months when I'll be the only one using the outdoor pools around here, and all the people will say, oh my God, that guy's in the pool. Yes, assholes, because I'm quite comfortable in the cold November, December in Florida. It's quite comfortable for me, okay? But this heat and humidity, oh. Okay, folks, so one Mike Messier, one artist Mike Messier for my art, one man in the camera films, sports fans, wrestling fans, one pro wrestling and sports fan YouTube channel. I am getting interested in UFC again. They're going to have this big spear fight, all this Conor McGregor conspiracy stuff. I've been watching some new UFC YouTubers who have all these thoughts and insights. It's interesting. Pro wrestling, I can't say I've been watching as much. I've been keeping up with it. I know that Mariah May turned on her little hero, Toni Storm, and bludgeoned her with a shoe. And what can you do? And over in the WWE world, this, imposter bloodline stuff, it's all very interesting. I'm just not going to sit there and on my ass and watch these programs. I'll watch the big events as I choose, but what can I tell you? I've just seen so much great wrestling in my life. I've seen great wrestling. I've seen shitty wrestling. I've seen good wrestling. I'm kind of wrestled out. It's not that I'm turning on the sport. The sport has already turned on me. So anyway, that's it, folks. It's your buddy Mike Messier. It's a wonderful Friday night. Can you feel the love tonight? That's it.